Alright, today I'm going to be making a video on installing Aerocatch hood latches on a 3rd gen Camaro. It might apply to a Firebird, but this is going to be specifically to the Camaro. I know the Firebird's going to have a slightly different hood. So here are the latches themselves. Now, I've never really been a fan of hood latches, hood pins. These are kind of an exception for me. I really like how they look. You know, they're not chrome. They don't look too tacky. And plus, getting rid of the factory hood latch is a big plus for me because, well, look at all this extra room in here now. I went ahead, I pulled off the original latch, which you can see is just massive. So again, this thing out here is going to shave a few pounds too. But I started this yesterday. My camera was dead. But I did get a few messages on Instagram asking me about this install, so I figured why not make a video. Alright, so far basically all I did was make the 2 holes for the pins themselves. I'll show you exactly where I made the hole because I wasn't sure the best spot, but if you look back here, up here in the radiator support, all this is solid, but right over here next to this rubber stop is a hole. So it's actually a perfect spot where you can slide the pin through and you get the nut through the bottom. So I mean, as far as spacing this out and getting it even by both sides, all I really did was use the rubber bumper here, and I just measured about 1 inch from here where it was kind of centered with this square block over here. So I just eyeballed it as best I can up and down. Here I measured 1 inch over, drilled it right through. Same thing on this side. And when the hood is actually closed, it actually falls right where I want it, which is going to be just about centered with the line in the hood here in the end. So it's going to be somewhat symmetrical. So I'm kind of happy with that. But holes are done. I'm going to get the pins installed, screw them down, probably just put them at max height for now just so I can see where they're going to hit onto the hood. And then I'm going to have to first cut out this extra layer of sheet metal under the hood here because the way the latch works, you got this bottom piece that pretty much gets sandwiched underneath, so it's got to be flush with the top layer of the hood. So, I mean, it's going to have to go in here like that. So I'm going to probably just cut away a good section of this so I'll be able to get to all the screws. But as you can see, it'll be somewhere in this area here. I'm not sure if I want to put them parallel with the hood line like that or just have them come straight down. I got to see. Alright, so I got the pin secured. It's important, you want to make sure this nut is tight. You don't want these flopping around because right now we're going to lower the hood and we're going to see exactly where they're going to go through. So make sure these are tight. I got them both about sticking out maybe 2 inches out. And basically what I'm going to do, some people use toothpaste or grease, anything basically you want to stick on here because we're going to lower the hood on top of these and then it's going to leave an imprint on where we got to cut up here. So I'm just going to use gray silicone. Just so it makes a little mark. You want to be able to see it. You do not want to cut the hole in the wrong spot. So now basically you're just going to drop the hood. Sitting on the pins. Bring it back up. And there you go, perfect. And now from there, that's where we're going to want to cut out the material around here so we could get to the top layer of the hood. All right, so the hood's marked. Now we want to see exactly where it's going to come through on the other side. Now, at least for third gens, the way the hood slopes down over here, I was kind of worried that it might not sit flat. And I know in the instructions it says don't force this thing down. It has to sit flat because it's pretty stiff. It's probably going to crack. But if you see the hole under here, well, where the hole's going to be, the pin's going to come out right around here. And the front of it's going to be right about over here. So if you look at this, see how that's going to sit. There's going to be, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, there's going to be a space right over here, which you definitely don't want. So the way the latch is set up, the pin is offset. So what you want to do is basically just flip it around. So where the pin's going to be coming through, you have it back here. Actually, it's got to go the other way. You got to have it back here. That way, the bulk of the latch is sitting back here, and you don't have that much hanging over this lip over here. So if you can see that, there's a lot less gap there than if you had it like that. So I think we're going to be all right. Instruction-wise, this thing really didn't come with any instructions. It came with a paper that pretty much just tells you to go to this website for installation instructions, but I went to that site. I was hoping they would have had a template or something. They didn't have anything at all. So a few minutes, I just whipped up this template myself. I'm going to start by cutting all this metal out here, and then I'll see where I want this to sit. Either straight, I'm probably going to angle it a little bit like that, just so it's sitting straight with that line there. Oh yeah, also, before I start cutting this, you're going to want to put a blanket or something over your engine. There's going to be a lot of shavings coming down, so you got to protect that LS at whatever cost. And as far as cutting this, I think I'm just going to cut away as neat as I can, just like I could get in there. It doesn't matter. I just really want a straight spot for the drill bit to go through, because I don't want to drill through this and then end up going sideways, and then the hole ends up over here when it's supposed to go straight up. So I'll start cutting a little square out and then see where that leads me. There's plenty of room in here, so I can slip the plate in there, so I'm not worried about that. I just want the bit to go straight through and not have to worry about it going off center. Alright, so I got the holes cut out. Now I'm going to re-drop the pins down with the silicone on them so I can get an exact spot where I'm going to drill through the actual top side of the hood. Perfect little spot where we're going to drill. It'll go in nice and straight. We're not going to have to worry about messing up the hood. Yeah, it's a little painful to see, but we're through. Okay, as you can see, the holes are drilled and the pins line up beautifully. But we're not out of the woods yet. There's still a lot of cutting to do. So right now I'm going to get this all taped up. I'm going to lay my template over it, trace it out, trace out the inside, and then I got to figure out what I'm going to use to cut this. I kind of want to use the Dremel. I just got to see if I have any cutting wheels. But yeah, I'm going to get it taped up. Alright, so I got the hood all taped up, marked out, using my little template here, lined it up. I measured from here to here 6.5 inches. From here to here is 7. Same on this side. So I know everything's going to be lined up perfectly. Everything's going to look symmetrical. Then I just pull the template off. and then I traced underneath where the actual hole is going to be. So, time to get cutting. Alright, progress update. I got the pins in, put the rubber isolators on. I just had to cut these down a little bit, just so they're below the hole there. I got the holes cut. The only thing to note underneath here, I had to cut out more metal because the way the pin sits in there, it's really deep, so it was hitting down here. So I just kind of straightened it out. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. It looks all right. It's pretty clean. I still got to paint under the hood anyway, so once it's painted, I think everything will look good. But, so here it is with the hood down. I used the grinding wheel, and I just made 2 big straight cuts, and then I used the Dremel and made the little circular cuts here. So you can see everything's working perfectly. Once I have the other side installed and lined up, the hood is nice and tight. I'll go and drill these holes. I'll be back once I have them all complete. Alright, now here is the finished product. They come out really good. They're nice and flush. There's no space. You see, you just press the button. Lock flips up. And I got the locking one, so once you lock this, you can't press this down anymore. The car's all wet. I had to hose all the metal shavings off of it. You can see here, that's exactly how much I had to cut out. But it came out pretty neat. I'm pretty happy with it. Same for this side. Everything lines up perfectly. I think they look really clean. I really like the way it looks with the headlights and the black wheels. It kind of matches everything. So yeah, all in all, maybe with filming, maybe it took me about 3 hours. It's really not that hard. It's just, you want to be really careful, especially making the cuts, because once you cut it, obviously that's it. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. But I think they turned out pretty well.